your there are CSS. Let me look for it so that you get all the CSS for JavaFX. JavaFX CSS. So all you need to know is you know the attribute and you know the value. You know the attribute and you know the value. Ah, which kind of this thing? It will now be asking us to if you are not a robot. You see? Yeah.
Not the robot.
Last time now it's maybe it again.
Guy, because they have to not a robot. Yeah. And can you even like why use the word robot?
Because you can write a you don't know that you can write a program that will continue solving the internet.
By itself.
Yes, by itself. Okay, this is not it's not coming up. Well, when we have a CSS, yes, which one? This project. You can close them now. Right click and close. If you do, you can right click and close. Later you open again if you want to open. If you want to open existing project, go to open project. Even all this one too, are they not Marvin project?
And the issue I'm having
They are.
for my the issue I'm having on
Okay.
my
No, this is not the project.
Where is
Just
the
menu bar.
this one is just menu bar and text area.
The one we open is menu bar.
This one.
Project. Yes.
So let's work on it. Let's run it and see how we do our styling. There are many CSS attributes and value. We have there are times we have a background color. That's when this is the attribute. The value could be any background what color. You understand? We have what do we have again? We have color in normal CSS, but here is fill. That is, if you use fill, if you use white, it means that the color of the text will be white. So, but in JavaFX, always prefix it with fx. Do you understand? You always prefix it with this. And we have another attribute. We have a background image. We have a border. You can give it a border. Let's say border left, border right. We have what you call, what is it now? We have what you call margin. So when you are talking about the margin is the distance between one component and another on the screen. Let's say the distance between this and this, distance between them is what? Margin. But look at this text. If you give this text area a padding of, let's say we have margin, we have padding. If we give text area a padding of 10, let's say 10 pixels, so it means that it will give it a distance between this and what you are going to put inside is what we call padding. So the distance between me and you is what we call margin. But if I now hold my hand, the distance between my hand and mine is what we call padding. So we now have margin left, margin right, margin bottom, margin top, padding left, padding just like that. So there are so many CSS attributes and value but it is not all of them that this guy supported. What do we call it? Yeah, JavaFX supported, but it supports most of them. So if you look online now, you look CSS attribute selector list. You have a lot of them, a lot of them. We have what we call border radius. Look at some of them. This one is just div. Let's look for complete concrete example. Okay, let's say CSS value. I want to show you properties and value of all most of these CSS, so that when you see them, you just prefix them with fx. You know, we in your JavaFX, there are two ways of naming element. Either you give it ID or you give it a class. Let me open this file. Let's create another file. Let's call it order empty fx. Let me call it login. We're going to have a login controller. Let's say we want to have a CSS. You understand? So we may now decide to write our CSS here. So if you want to make reference to element with by ID, this is how you make reference to it. Let's say we have element of call go. All you need to do is go. It means that any element with go, we take this CSS, this styling. But most of the time we normally use class. That is why you now say dot go. You understand? Okay, now let's say okay, we have dot btn. Let's try and apply our color here. Font size. Even this one will give you, let's say 15 pixels, but you can't use font size. Say we fix it with effect. Can you see now that it's even come? That this guy will help you. That's when you say effect. You can say border radius. Border radius will make it circle. You can say okay, 20 pixel. So prefix it with what? Effect. Yes, when you are working with JavaFX, you can say border. Can you see border style, border insert, border image in case you want to use image for it. So now when we have this, you can say okay, effects. You can see background color, background face, background color. Let's say black. Say effects, fill. You understand? You know I told you fill is a color. Let's say white. Now when you are designing your JavaFX, let's open this one in Builder. So nothing is on this guy. You understand? Nothing is here.
Yes, sir.
So when you are working, all you need to do is this is your parent. This is the parent. You need to select CSS here, style
It's
class.
already there.
You see the CSS is already there. If the CSS is not there, you have to choose it. So let's put a button here. Do you have JPhonics button there?
Yeah,
You have a.
I have.
Do you have a?
No,
I just want to use normal button so that let's use normal button. So when you now click this, you now come here. Now say style class. Can you see that your BTN is there? So if you have another to come, can you see it?
what about the field? It's there.
The fill is there.
It's there, but the background color has overridden it.
It is there.
But you put white
White.
now.
It's supposed to show.
Yeah, it's
Black yẹn ti
supposed to
bò
show.
mọ́lẹ̀.
FX. So let me just. I think there are some property. If it is normal HTML, it will take it. But when you see that the color doesn't show, you can come here and choose the color for it. Do you get it? So you see now border radius. You see the border radius make it look like this. So if you choose the border radius of let's say 50 pixel, let's look at preview it. Now there are times that when you put your cursor on it, you want a particular color to show. I even forgot most of the. There is no, it's not on mouse over. Uh, CSS style mouse. It's not on mouse over. I just want opacity, float, display. Network is not good. So what I'm saying in essence is this. Look at this. We can give this one a background image. So assuming we have our image here, like our face, just have the image. Maybe let's move this image to the same place where the CSS is. You can say okay, FX background what image. All you need to now say the URL. You put the URL. Where is the location of the image? Where is menu bar? You can say let's look for that image. This download. So you now there are times that you see FX background repeat. because at the time that you repeat the image, if you are if the image is small, if you choose background, it will just try and to repeat it to full all the screen.
Sorry, sir. Why are you writing the code now?
Well,
Right here.
because we are applying it to
Not the
this
bottom.
class, we moved from the bottom. Can you see it now? Because we said no repeat. This is the only size that it can cover. But if you say background repeat, if you now say repeat, so can you see now that it will replicate it? But most of the time you allow it to have you allow your design to have you have a wide image that can take up the whole thing. You can't reset background image. You can only resize an image you put on the screen. Now let's say if you have image view, if you have image view now, where is the value? Look at this image. There is no, we don't have
You can use that this second one.
yes, no, it is not
Place download
good. Do you have any image in the system of this? Just copy this image. Most of the time you create image folder, you put all your image there. You create directory, you put all your image so that the image will not scatter with the program. Where is the image? Let's find this guy. Understand? So if you go back to your you say dot you say dot yes.
another class.
Yes, you can create as many classes as possible. FX. I think from that one you can't tell, but we have wood. We have wood. I don't think we have FX wood. We have FX height. But here you may decide to set the width and height here. Here you can set width and height here. When you look at all this property, but you can give it a class of. I don't think it's take effect. That is one thing about FX. But if it is normal CSS will take it. But what I want you to study now is the CSS properties and what values. CSS properties and value. There are different ways you can use it. When you look at it, this one is to write inline CSS. Inline CSS. So that when this one is enable you to write inline CSS, I can say okay, FX font size. Just put the value here. So if you want to write another one, let's say 12 pixel. If you want to add another one, you write instead of going inside that code. But what happen is the advantage of the code is when before you do your design, you make a single design for a button for your text feed, how your text feed will look like for your so that
Uniformity.
yes, so that you keep them here. So that any text feed you create, you assign the CSS class to them. Any
Okay.
button you create, you assign a CSS class to them. You understand? There is a complete reference to JavaFX CSS so that you see the properties and value. You now study everything. But anytime you want to create your project, let me create a project structure. Let's create a project structure so that we complete this class. This is how you create your project in any FX application. You create this. You understand? Let's say okay, chatting app. This is your project. If you want to create a preloader, chatting app preloader, you can do that.
What is preload?
Preloader at times will enable you to you may decide to use a splash screen. Maybe when your application is loaded, to just give you the progress. So when your application finish loading, then you see it. But it's part of what you are going to do. So use this to store live. But I prefer you creating JavaFX with Maven. Look at this. Better. But it's just
It's
that our
better
network.
off FX.
Yes, so that you organize your file. This one, you look for library online. You'll be adding library. But Maven is better. When you come to Maven, you see JavaFX application. But even though if you want
But
to,
will Marvin works with FX?
it will work absolutely fine. Let's can you require latest JDK to build and run? Let me change to this. Let me change this network and see. Video.
That's fine. It's for him. It's for him. It's for him.
You tell.
With the first time.
What about the come to
Ọmọ wa
video?
bí ìfọwọ́lá ti dá sí tó.
Ah, you know, what about the video magic? Please stop. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń jẹ́ bẹ̀ generation wọn. Àwọn generation wọn mọ́ pẹ́pà.
This area is fine. It's look good.
Ẹ̀kẹ́ chips.
Don't worry.
Chips. Apart from attributes and values, what you just so far?
Sáyé lọ sí. Àgbàdo àkáyé wà mọ́.
Chai!
Ṣẹ́yìn ò bá rí.
Let's say you didn't pause it.
Yes.
You didn't pause it. Now. When you click the rest button,
And that's
you
what.
continue playing.
And that's what we did now.
When you click like this, click this one.
Okay.
It's playing again. So it's chat app. Let me say Shina dot app. That's our this one. Yeah, I prefer creating JavaFX with Maven because it's better. To download all your library. Maybe that's network. Now.
Network is not strong.
Let me use this one.
Madame Tonois.
So
Alright.
Ṣáà ìyá rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀.
Oh yeah,
Jẹ́
win.
lówó.
Ah,
Má sì yẹn yà wẹ̀.
ta ló wà fún mi? Ta ló wà fún mi?
Mohammed Ali. Do you know Mohammed Ali?
Kini? Let me check something. Please.
Do you know Mohammed Ali? Do you know Mohammed Ali?
We got ball.
Well, what I will do is I will create a skeleton project and share with you so that you see how. But Marvin is the best if you want to create your JavaFX application. Just because the network is not stable. Otherwise,
But yeah, no, you don't need network for it.
yeah, but this one you don't need network for.
Downloading it.
Yes. But the problem is you don't understand now. When you want to work with a big project, you see that adding this one is not. Because with Marvin, when you add one, it will add all the required library. You may not decide to download like 15 library. Look for this one. When you put it, if it's not working, you go and look for another one. You go and look for another one. That's the essence of. It will make the life easier. Because if I want to download, take for example, there is what we call iReport. If I just copy one Marvin iReport, put it there, it will download everything. But if you go online, copy one iReport, you see when you are running, you now notice that something is missing. You now go and search for it again. You copy it, you put it. Most of the time, when you have a single project, you don't want to tamper with it. Next time when you want to work, well, let's create.
Just pathway.
Let's create another this thing. If this guy is not working, let's go and create this guy.
Normal
Normal FX.
no.
So when
This
we
one
are
doesn't
working, this one
Come
doesn't
on,
require this
Chino.
one. Because in Marvin, you'll be able to separate your CSS. You can put CSS in one directory. You can equally do that here. Look at it now. Here, you understand?
Yeah.
You may decide to group your controller. Maybe here you have login. So this is where you put all your login. You create FML, this empty login, call it login. Next, call it where do you want to put it under this login. You understand? Then if you want to use CSS, you have CSS class so that everything will create under the what login. So you may have another this in now. Let's say you have a sign up. So even if you have 3 classes you want to create for sign up, you can put them here. Sign up.
So everything will be in the same package.
Yes. You may not
And the
have
single
different.
package.
You may use the same thing CSS here
Yes.
with the sign up. So even here, you may have register. What I'm telling you is you can have as many. Don't go there. You can have as many this thing as possible under here.
So you can use a single CSS
Yes,
for all of them.
yes. You can use a single CSS, just that when you are creating a CSS, you create different classes so that you make reference to it. So that's another way of creating projects so that when you have plenty projects, you don't put all of them in this package.
In our last class, we did table. Okay, I think you know it. We did table. So we use student class. Now, what if I now create another package or another project which I intend to use table to, and the table should be of student class too.
Then you make reference to it. You
Okay.
import it. Look at if I create student here. is in one package, right?
Yes.
If I want to have access to the student here, I can say okay, student st. It will ask me to import that student from that package. You know, it's in this package,
Chat app.
chat.student.
Yeah.
You import and you start using it here.
Mm.
So there is another way where you'll be able to I saw you go and learn how to use all these guys. This border pane. This border pane is very, very good. Border pane is good. Border pane have look at it. What?
Insert top.
Can you see it? So that you put it to be you see when we use this, it take over the whole site.
Okay.
The computed. My head is big.
This
The
one you may
computed size.
decide to increase it to 700. So but since you make this one to take over, it will always take the same size as the parent because you use computer
Computed
size, use
size.
your computer size. So what we are saying in essence is you may have your button here. So if you put you go and learn how to use border pin because your border pin, if in your border pin you can give it parent pin. Can you see this parent pin? In this your where is it here? It's here, right?
The design itself.
Okay, it's another project. We are in
That's
another
many now.
project. I just want to show you this. There's one here. Now you can say no controller. What do you do there? So that in your login you have access to that your pin. You understand? Do you understand?
Yes,
No.
sir.
You have access to this.
Border pin.
So with this border pin, you can set some component to the left, set some
Right.
component to the right, set some component. So most of the time you set component. Let's see how to use border pin. Let's say okay, JavaFX border pin. You fit this network is bad. You know, there is something you need to know that when you want to have access to login, this is the main app, right? This is the main app. If I want to have access to login, let's say void load panel. If I put string name, you understand? So that anywhere I'll be able to call the panel to load. I don't know if you people get it. We have a class. This is just a method. It doesn't have anything to do with. But you understand we can create a method here. But what I'm telling you now is you may decide to have your pin load. Or even if I move it here. Okay, I'll show you something now. Let's go to our design. Let's choose open this guy in a sim builder. Let's delete this. This is just a simple design, just showing you a simple design. Don't do it. Let's put a border pin here. So you just use the whole size of the. In your border pin now, you may now put what do you call it? V box, vertical box inside the left. So it means if I put vertical box, see, if I put vertical box here, let's see whether this one have a padding. Look at the padding is 0000. Let's see whether this one has a padding too. The padding is 000. So if you have a vertical box here, you arrange some other item there. Design your button, or you, if you like, put can duplicate. Here you have user logout test exam info. So this is vertical panel. Look at this vertical panel. You may decide to put that is line spacing. You didn't ask that. How can you space this thing? Those buttons. They are too close.
I think we can do that manually by shifting
Inside text,
Huh?
inside the this thing. You can't do that
that
inside
inside
the.
the box because normally we used to like move it.
There is property you can
Line
set.
spacing.
If you
Line
set line
spacing.
spacings, it's not line spacings.
Maybe it's because you have not clicked this button.
Why not on the?
Or maybe the big box is not clicked.
Okay.
It's not clicked. And try it.
Click. I know this is arrangement to arrange the top
Arrangement.
left. Alright. You,
I've
it
not
seems you
seen
made one opaque. But you can check that out on the this one. So when you now arrange some menu here, if I click this, maybe I want exam screen to show here. If I click this, I want this one to show here.
Another screen.
So that means I have to give this one ID. I have to give all of this one ID.
The button.
I have to give these buttons ID.
all these buttons.
Yes,
You
now
give them one.
I have to say user. I have to say this
Login.
one. You understand? When you give them this one, you now go to your class here. Where is that class? It's here, right? You may now decide to load different panel and attach it. Let's see how to use border pane. Yeah, that
Click it. Done.
so just you can't connect.
Sometimes you know you want to
What I will tell you to do is how to use border pane in JavaFX. Go and learn how to use it. Look at it. Look at examples here. Even all these examples will help you.
how to do
Even if you go through all this, look at it. Say it has this. You can set top, set button, set right. See, if anytime I want to, where is it on my login? Where is the design? Is it on this login? I think we'll make something visible the other time. Now say order. Let's save it. Let's go to our I think it's on this guy. Okay, see here. Can you see the order? Maybe when you now click a button, you now say okay, order dot set top. You see set. You can say set center. You people did not get it.
the name of the button
like
now.
position.
You can set center. You can set any widget to the center. Take for example now.
What are we now
Take for example now, if you have if you have a sign up, you can get access to that sign up. Look at this guy. You will get access to this one in your login. Is it on login? Yes. Maybe I just put a name here. Maybe uh, register. So if I now say okay, order dot set center to root.
the root is now
Yes, anytime I click this button, assuming this is the button. Now all those I call this one user, this. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to add the action to them on action. Log out action and just say log out action. And I say okay, info action. Let me save it. So if you make this, we are going to stop now. I'm even tired. So assuming now that I want register to show if I click log out, I'm just saying that means it's registered that will show. You people did not understand.
You
if you
understand?
take it to that sign up,
Yes, if I want sign up to show,
Sure.
it means that anytime I click this, whatever I design in sign up, you can design sign up separately.
once you click the button,
Yes,
to go back to sign up page.
let's say that sign up. Where is that sign up? Where is the sign up now?
Sign up is done.
You can try it. try. So you may make your design here and make it anyhow you want, so that you make your screen to be large as much as possible to be able to take what is coming. You understand? So that is one of the design. Most at time I used to love a situation whereby I will put that is how to use that guy. And I told you that day, even on the sign up, this sign up, you can put a tab pane there. Can you see tab pane?
Don't follow.
Can you see tab pane?
Yes.
So you can add different tab to it. You see inside each of the tab, you can still add another tab to it.
Tab on tab.
Yes, now look at this. Duplicate, duplicate. So extend this. Yes. Even you don't even need to. You can come to your tab pane here. Sorry. Who
Sorry.
step on you? Sorry. Sorry.
Who step on you? Who?
Wait, why?
So this tab pane is only one item that is clickable at time. All this one, they put it here. You understand? You may give this one ID. When you
Which
give
tab?
this guy ID, when you give this guy ID, pane holder. You understand? You now decide to give each tab ID. Go and do your when you give each tab ID, go to this screen, go and do your design. Call those design and put them instead of passing this guy directly. But if you like, it's your
Now we
choice.
have two anchor pin now. This is the appearance.
This is their parent now. But you don't need if you like put the tab in directly on this thing. Cut. Can you see it? Allow the tab pin to be on its own. You people, I don't think you understand this.
I get it that way.
Assuming this is login, this is what? Register. Sign up and register at the same thing now. I just say this is. So give each of your tab, give them, remove the content under them. Remove the content under them. Remove the content under this. Is an anchor pin. You can go and design your this thing somewhere. Kò yé yín. So when you give this guy, you already give this guy. When you give this guy ID, login abi. What ID do you want to give this one? Like, what ID do you want to give this one? What ID do you want to give this one? Don't forget that you apply color to it. So you now save. Then when you go to your, is it where? Is it on sign up? The control. Let's close order. Look at it. You understand? Inside here, you can say login dot. Or do you know what we want to do? Set graphics node. You see, it has what? Get content. I'm looking for the vet method. Get content. You understand? And I say, okay, dot. You should have a character set content node. So you may now call the same way you did to this guy, where you call this guy. Maybe you have created all these things separately. You don't get it. You don't get what we are saying here.
You just put the whole thing like a new thing.
Maybe now, what does this one all about? Login, right? Maybe you created a login separately. Just a login does set what? Root. It means that whenever they click here, the content you set here will display here. So for register, you design them separately. Do you people understand it? So always make your design separately. For even you can have you can have here now, you can have like uh, different student data, maybe result, maybe course registration, this. So if I want to register course, I will key this. You must have designed your screen for course registration, put form, put table, it will still show here. That's what I'm telling you, that you need to learn how to use all this. Use them. It is when you use them, you know more about them. Ẹ káalẹ́ mà o.